5 plants are growing in glasses of water on windowsills across Asia right now, with no soil and no garden, just water and sunlight. Together, they give your body everything it needs to build collagen from scratch, and no powder on any shelf can do that. By the end of this video, you will know all 5, how to grow them, and why a billion-dollar industry hopes you never learn their names. After your mid-20s, your body starts producing roughly 1% less collagen every single year. By the time you reach 50, you have lost nearly a quarter of the structural protein holding your skin, your joints, your tendons, and your bones together. Collagen is not a cosmetic luxury. It is the most abundant protein in the human body. Approximately 30% of all protein you carry is collagen. It is the scaffolding of your entire physical structure. When it degrades, everything downstream starts to fail. Joints ache for no clear reason. Skin loses its elasticity and begins to sag. Wounds take longer to heal. Gut lining weakens. This is a real biological decline, and it happens to every single human being on the planet, and the market noticed. The global collagen supplement market is now worth over $3 billion a year, and it is growing at close to 10% annually. Walk into any pharmacy or health food store in Los Angeles or Toronto or London, and you will see an entire wall devoted to it. Powders in massive tubs, capsules in blister packs, gummies in pastel-colored bottles, fizzy drinks, bone broth, concentrates, all of them promising to restore or rebuild your collagen from the inside out. The pitch is simple: eat collagen, get collagen. Your body needs it, so consume it directly. Bone broth, marine peptides, bovine hydrolysate. The logic seems airtight. Here is what the label does not explain. When you swallow collagen from bone broth or from any supplement at all, your stomach acid and digestive enzymes break it apart. The intact collagen molecule does not survive digestion. It is shredded into individual amino acids and small peptide fragments before it ever reaches your bloodstream. Your body does not absorb whole collagen and shuttle it to your skin. It absorbs amino acids. Then, if conditions are right, it may use some of those amino acids to build new collagen from scratch. But amino acids alone are not enough. Your body requires specific cofactors to actually assemble collagen. Vitamin C is the most critical. Without it, the enzymes that stabilize the collagen triple helix simply cannot function. That is not a theory. That is scurvy, the disease that destroyed entire navies before anyone understood why. Beyond vitamin C, your body also needs copper for cross-linking collagen fibers into their final structural form. It needs zinc for regulating over 100 enzymatic reactions involved in collagen metabolism. And on top of all that, specific plant compounds are required to signal your fibroblast cells to begin production in the first place. Without these cofactors, the amino acids from that $40 tub of powder sit there completely unused. Your body has the bricks delivered to the construction site, but there is no blueprint, no carpenter, no foreman, nothing happens. Bone broth gives you some of the building blocks. It gives you 0 assembly instructions. And one prominent nonprofit study found measurable heavy metals, including lead, were present in roughly 64% of the collagen supplement products they sampled. You are paying premium prices for incomplete nutrition that may also contain heavy metals. But there is an entirely different approach: 5 plants that together provide the complete collagen production system. Not just the amino acid raw materials, but the cofactors, the enzymatic signals, the compounds that tell your cells to start building, and the protective agents that stop your existing collagen from being broken down by the sun and by time. All 5 grow in water. All 5 need only sunlight. All 5 have been eaten across Asia for centuries or millennia, and all 5 can be started on your kitchen windowsill this weekend. The first one contains an exceptional amount of vitamin C, rivaling standard citrus fruits gram for gram. That single nutrient is the reason entire navies watched their sailors lose their teeth 300 years ago. Picture the British Royal Navy in the 1700s. Sailors on long Atlantic crossings would develop swollen bleeding gums. Their teeth would loosen and fall out. Old scars that had healed months earlier would reopen as if the tissue had simply dissolved. Entire crews collapsed and died at sea. The disease was called scurvy, and it killed more British sailors in that century than all naval combat combined. The cause was a total absence of vitamin C in their diet. Without vitamin C, the human body cannot produce collagen at all. The enzyme responsible for stabilizing new collagen structures simply shuts down. No vitamin C means no new collagen. No new collagen means your body falls apart from the inside out. Now consider a small green leafy plant that has been growing in chalk streams across southern England since before the Romans arrived. Roman legions carried it as field rations 2,000 years ago. Persian kings prescribed it to their soldiers before long marches. It is one of the oldest cultivated leaf vegetables in recorded human history. This plant is called watercress. In Hampshire, England, watercress has been grown in clear spring-fed stream beds since the early 1800s. In Victorian London, working-class families bought bundles of it from street vendors because it was the cheapest source of fresh nutrition available in the entire city. It was poor people's food then. It is still one of the most nutritionally complete foods on the planet now. Gram for gram watercress contains more vitamin C than oranges, more calcium than milk, more vitamin E than broccoli, more folate than bananas. It is among the most nutrient-dense foods ever measured relative to its calorie content. The plant itself is roughly 95% water, so it hydrates your body at the same time it nourishes it. But beyond raw vitamins and minerals, watercress contains compounds called isothiocyanats. These compounds actively prevent the breakdown of existing collagen and elastin in your skin. Watercress does not just help your body build new collagen, it shields what you already have from degradation. The majority of women who added one serving of watercress to their daily diet for several weeks experienced visible improvements in skin texture, including measurable reductions in wrinkle depth. A longer study found that 8 weeks of daily watercress consumption improved antioxidant levels in skin cells and reduced DNA damage caused by UV exposure. The plant that could have saved the British Navy was growing in the chalk streams they sailed past on their way out of port. Watercress is a truly aquatic plant. It grows naturally in shallow running water. You do not need a garden or a pot of soil to grow it. Buy a bunch of watercress at any grocery store. Place the stems in a glass of clean water on a sunny windowsill. Within days, you will see thin white roots forming along the nodes. Harvest the outer leaves, and the plant responds by pushing new growth from the center. No soil, no fertilizer, no special equipment, just a glass, a window, and a little patience. Eat it raw in salads where its peppery bite cuts through richer flavors. Toss it into hot soup at the very last second so it wilts but holds its nutrients. Blend it into a morning smoothie with fruit. The flavor is sharp and clean and unmistakably alive. Watercress gives your body the cofactor it needs to assemble collagen. But a cofactor is just a key. It still needs someone to turn it. The next plant does something no vitamin can do alone. It enters the cell and directly tells the collagen factory to begin production. There is a story told across Southeast Asia about wounded tigers. Villagers in Sri Lanka and Thailand and Malaysia all share versions of the same account. When a tiger was injured in a fight, it would not simply lie down and rest. Instead, it would seek out a specific low-growing herb with small, round leaves and roll its entire body through the patch until the crushed leaves coated its wounds. Local people observed this behavior for generations. They called the plant tiger grass. They began applying the same leaves to their own cuts and burns and scrapes. The wounds healed faster. The scars came back softer and flatter than before. In Sri Lanka, elders noticed that elephants, among the longest-lived land animals on Earth, deliberately grazed on this same herb throughout their entire lives. A traditional proverb emerged from this observation: 2 leaves a day keeps old age away. This plant is called Gotu kola. Unlike any other common food plant ever studied, Gotu kola does not simply supply nutrients to your body. It gives direct biochemical orders to your cells. The leaves contain a group of compounds called triterpenoids. The most important of these are asiaticoside and madecassoside. When these compounds reach your fibroblast cells, they directly activate the genetic machinery responsible for producing type 1 collagen. Type 1 is the most abundant collagen in your body. It is the collagen in your skin, in your tendons, in your bones, in the walls of your organs. Gotu kola does not provide building materials. It flips the production switch. Think of it as the difference between having lumber delivered to an empty construction site and having a foreman arrive who starts calling in workers. But Gotu kola does something else at the same time. It suppresses an enzyme called MMP1. This is one of the primary enzymes your body produces to break down existing collagen fibers. So Gotu kola accelerates collagen production on one side while slowing collagen destruction on the other. It builds with one hand and shields with the other. No supplement on any shelf replicates this dual mechanism. This plant appears in the Sushruta Samhita and the Charaka Samhita, the two foundational texts of Ayurvedic medicine written in India over 2,000 years ago. In Chinese traditional medicine, it is classified among the premier herbs for promoting longevity. Across Thailand and Vietnam and Indonesia, it is sold fresh in markets and brewed into herbal drinks at street stalls from Bangkok to Hanoi every single day. Here is a detail that should change how you look at your bathroom shelf. If you have ever bought a skincare product labeled CICA, you have already been paying for Gotu kola. The word CICA comes from a Latin term related to scar healing. French physicians in the late 1800s discovered that Centella asiatica accelerated wound closure, and the cosmetic industry eventually extracted that discovery, diluted it, patented it, and turned it into a premium ingredient. Every CICA cream sitting on every department store shelf in the world is a processed fraction of a plant that grows in a shallow dish of water on your kitchen windowsill. Gotu kola is semi-aquatic by nature. It creeps along wet ground and thrives with its roots submerged in shallow water. Place a small cutting or starter plant into a shallow dish filled with water and set it near a window with a few hours of light each day. The plant spreads horizontally, sending out thin runners that root at every node. One single cutting becomes a dense mat of small round leaves within a few weeks. Pinch leaves as you need them and eat them fresh. The flavor is mild, slightly bitter, and gently herbaceous. In Sri Lanka, families add the raw leaves to a traditional condiment called sambol that is eaten alongside rice at nearly every meal. Gotu kola tells your cells to start building collagen, but cells need raw materials to build with. Collagen is a protein, and roughly 1/3 of its structure is the amino acid glycine. Another third is proline. The rest is a mix that includes hydroxyproline and several others. Your body needs a reliable source of these exact building blocks. The next plant provides every single one of them, and more than 500 million people across Southeast Asia eat it every week. Walk through any open-air market in Ho Chi Minh City or Bangkok or Jakarta, and you will see enormous bundles of a dark green vine with distinctive hollow stems piled high on wooden vendor tables. Motorbikes weave through the crowd with even more bundles strapped to the back. This is the most consumed leafy green in all of Southeast Asia. More popular than spinach, more popular than kale, more popular than any variety of lettuce. In Vietnam, they call it rau muong and stir-fry it with crushed garlic in a smoking hot wok. Most Vietnamese families consider it the national side dish. In Thailand, it is pad pak bung, served at every street stall from the floating markets of central Bangkok to the beach towns along the Andaman coast. In the Philippines, it is kangkong, the most affordable and most widely eaten green in the entire country. In Chinese, it is kong shin kai, which translates to hollow heart vegetable, a name that describes the air-filled stems that allow this vine to float and spread across the surface of water. It has been cultivated across tropical Asia for at least 1,000 years. In traditional Chinese agriculture, it was grown in flooded paddies right alongside rice, two crops from the same water, two foods from the same field. This plant is water spinach. 100 grams of the fresh leaves delivers only 19 calories and 0 fat, yet contains 92% of your daily vitamin C and 210% of your daily vitamin A. Both of these vitamins are essential to collagen production. Vitamin C enables the enzymatic assembly of collagen fibers. Vitamin A drives the turnover of fibroblast cells, replacing old exhausted ones with fresh, active producers. Together in a single leaf, they create an amplification loop. More active cells building more collagen at a faster rate. Water spinach also delivers iron, calcium, magnesium, and potassium in meaningful quantities. It is a complete mineral package wrapped in a plant that grows so aggressively in water that several American states, including Texas and Florida, have officially classified it as a noxious weed. The same plant that feeds over 500 million people daily across Asia is listed as a problem in the country that spends the most per capita on collagen supplements in the entire world. Let that settle for a moment. Growing water spinach requires almost no effort at all. Pick up a bunch from any Asian grocery store. Place the cut stems in a tall glass or jar filled with water. Roots will appear within days. The plant grows quickly in warm conditions, and a sunny kitchen windowsill is all the infrastructure it needs. Cut the stems above a leaf node, and the plant immediately pushes new growth from that point. You can harvest continuously for months from a single glass. Stir-fry it quickly with garlic and a splash of soy sauce. Blanch it and dress it with oyster sauce. Drop it into soups in the last minute of cooking. Keep the heat brief, because prolonged cooking destroys the vitamin C your body depends on for collagen assembly. Water spinach amplifies the system with concentrated vitamins. But there is one critical thing that none of these first three plants provide in serious quantity: the raw amino acid building blocks of collagen itself: glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, the actual structural bricks. The next plant is the most protein-dense aquatic organism ever measured on Earth, and it doubles its entire biomass every 48 hours. It is the smallest flowering plant on Earth. Each individual frond is tinier than a grain of rice. It floats on the surface of still water in ponds, ditches, and rice paddies on every continent except Antarctica. Most people who notice it assume it is algae or scum floating on the water. It is neither. It is called duckweed, and pound for pound, it contains more protein than nearly any plant ever tested. Duckweed protein ranges from 25 to 45% by dry weight depending on growing conditions. That places it above soybeans, above lentils, and above nearly every conventional protein crop grown on farmland today. But the composition of that protein is what makes duckweed essential to the system. It contains all 9 essential amino acids in proportions that meet the standards set by the World Health Organization for human nutrition. More importantly, it is rich in glycine and proline. These 2 amino acids alone can make up more than a quarter of the total amino acid content in certain duckweed species. Your body uses glycine and proline more than any other amino acids when constructing new collagen fibers. No supplement isolate delivers them in the same balanced ratio that duckweed provides naturally as a whole living food. The very same building blocks that a $40 tub of collagen powder promises are floating on the surface of still water, doubling on their own every 2 days. In Thailand, duckweed has been eaten fresh and added to soups for generations. In Burma, it is known as water egg and fried as a protein-rich food. In parts of Vietnam and Laos, villagers harvest it from village ponds as free supplemental nutrition that requires no farming at all. In Israel, a high-protein strain called mankai has been cultivated and commercialized and is now sold in grocery stores as a functional health food. The supplement industry grinds up animal bones, extracts the amino acid fragments, and seals them inside a plastic tub designed to empty every 30 days. Duckweed provides the same amino acids from a living plant that grows in a bowl of water on your kitchen counter and never stops producing. Growing duckweed may be the simplest task in this entire video. Fill any shallow container with water. For example, a glass baking dish, a plastic storage bin, or a wide ceramic bowl. Anything with a broad surface works. Place a small amount of duckweed on the water. Set it near a window with gentle indirect light. Change the water every week or two. That is the entire process. Duckweed reproduces by budding. Each tiny frond generates new fronds continuously without pollination or seeds. Within 2 weeks, the water surface will be covered in a dense green living mat. Harvest by scooping excess off the top with a fine mesh strainer. The remaining fronds immediately begin doubling again. You cannot consume it faster than it grows. The flavor is mild and faintly green. Blend it into smoothies for a protein boost you will barely taste. Dry it in a low oven and grind it into a fine powder for long-term storage. Stir it into soups. Across Southeast Asia, it is eaten fresh right off the water with no preparation at all. Now stop here and consider what you already have. 4 plants, 4 completely different collagen pathways. Watercress delivers the vitamin C cofactor that makes collagen assembly possible in the first place. Gotu kola sends a direct activation signal to your fibroblast cells, telling them to produce type 1 collagen. Water spinach amplifies the entire system with concentrated vitamin A and vitamin C that accelerate cellular turnover. Duckweed provides every amino acid building block collagen requires in a complete protein that regenerates on its own every 48 hours. But one critical system remains unaddressed. Your body builds collagen constantly. It also destroys collagen constantly. Ultraviolet radiation from the sun breaks collagen apart. Chronic low-grade inflammation erodes it slowly over years. Oxidative stress from pollution and processed food chips away at it, and a group of enzymes called MMPs actively chew through collagen fibers the way acid dissolves metal. If you are building collagen with one hand and losing it with the other, you are running in place forever. The 5th and final plant stops the destruction. In Korea, they call it minari. In Japan, it is siri, one of the 7 sacred herbs eaten on the 7th of January each year in a centuries-old ritual of health and renewal. In China, it is shui qin kai, consumed every spring as a cleansing tonic for the liver and the blood. You may recognize the name Minari from the Academy Award-nominated film released in 2020. The title comes from this exact plant because Korean immigrant families historically planted it wherever they settled as the very first crop in new soil. It grows in any wet ground. It spreads without asking permission. It nourishes everyone around it. In the story and in real life, minari is a symbol of resilience and quiet abundance. This plant is water celery. It is a perennial herb that grows naturally along stream banks and in wet meadows across East Asia. The stems have a bright, clean flavor that resembles celery, but with a sharper, more aromatic edge. Korean families serve it raw in salads dressed with sesame oil and sea salt. They blanch it and pile it beside grilled pork belly. Korean families often wrap the raw leaves around a piece of meat and dip it in samjang paste. The bright herbal crunch cuts through the richness like nothing else can. It is not treated as a side dish. It is considered essential to the balance and harmony of the meal. In Japan, water celery appears in spring hot pots and in nanakusa gayu, the traditional herbal rice porridge prepared to welcome each new year. What makes water celery essential to this system is what it does to the enzymes responsible for destroying collagen. The leaves and stems are rich in chlorogenic acid, one of the most potent plant-based antioxidants measured in any edible herb. They also contain protective flavonoids including persicarin and isorhamnitin. These compounds suppress MMP activity in your skin and connective tissue. Ultraviolet light from the sun triggers surges of MMP production, and that is one of the primary reasons sun exposure causes visible skin aging. Water celery has been shown to protect against this ultraviolet-driven collagen breakdown by quieting those destructive enzymes before they cause lasting damage. Water celery also contains copper. Copper is the specific mineral required by lysyl oxidase, the enzyme that cross-links individual collagen fibers into their final woven structural form. Without adequate copper, your body can manufacture collagen molecules, but they remain loose and disorganized like threads that were never braided into rope. Water celery delivers the mineral that finishes the construction. In Korean folk medicine, this plant has been valued for centuries as a cooling and detoxifying herb. Today it is gaining recognition in Korean skincare formulations as a botanical extract prized for protecting skin from environmental stress. The same pattern repeats across every plant on this list. A food eaten freely by families for generations gets extracted, processed, diluted, patented, and sold back to consumers at a steep markup as a premium ingredient. Growing water celery follows the same approach as everything else on this list. It is a water-loving perennial that roots easily from cuttings. Place fresh stems in a jar of clean water on a windowsill that gets some sunlight. Roots form within a week. It grows vigorously and responds to frequent harvesting by producing bushier, denser growth. Leaves, stems, and even the young roots are all edible. When grown indoors, it can be harvested year-round without pause. That is 5 plants, 5 distinct mechanisms, 1 complete collagen production system growing in glasses of water. Watercress delivers the vitamin C cofactor that enables collagen assembly. Without it, the process cannot begin at all. Gotu kola sends the direct activation signal to fibroblast cells, telling them to produce type 1 collagen at an accelerated rate. Water spinach amplifies cellular turnover with concentrated vitamin A and vitamin C together, creating more active collagen-producing cells. Duckweed provides the vital amino acid building blocks collagen requires, including glycine and proline, allowing your body to synthesize its own hydroxyproline. Water celery suppresses the MMP enzymes that destroy existing collagen and delivers the copper needed to cross-link new fibers into their finished structural form. 5 glasses of water on 1 windowsill, 5 plants working together. Every input your body needs to build, maintain, and protect its own collagen from a system that costs the price of a few cuttings and never needs to be repurchased. Now think about what this single windowsill replaces. A tub of collagen powder made from ground animal parts, stripped of every cofactor your body needs to actually use the amino acids inside. A bone broth subscription that ships raw materials with no assembly instructions. A CICA face cream that contains a diluted extract of a plant you could grow for free in a dish of water. A monthly supplement bill that renews every 30 days because the product is specifically designed to run out and be reordered. Every one of these products depends on the same business model. The container empties, you buy another one. The subscription never ends. The plants do not empty, they grow. Sri Lankan grandmothers eat fresh Gotu kola leaves every single day and have done so for generations, stretching back further than anyone remembers. Korean families serve minari in clear soups each spring as a ritual of renewal and cleansing passed down through centuries. Vietnamese street vendors stir-fry water spinach over open flames at every meal service. From the alleys of Saigon to the sidewalks of Hanoi, Thai grandmothers skim duckweed from village ponds and fold it into curries without giving it a second thought, because it has always been done this way. British watermen harvested watercress from cold chalk streams long before anyone understood the science of why it kept them strong and healthy. None of these cultures had collagen supplements. None of them needed collagen supplements. They had the plants, they had the knowledge, and they had the water. This knowledge was not erased by any conspiracy. It was erased by economics. A plant that grows in a glass of water cannot generate monthly revenue. A cutting that roots itself cannot sustain a subscription. A living system that requires no purchased inputs supports no input industry. What cannot be patented cannot be marketed. What cannot be marketed disappears from public consciousness within a single generation. And a single generation is all it took. But the plants did not disappear. They are still growing in chalk streams from Hampshire to Kent, still floating on village ponds from Bangkok to Bangalore, still creeping through wet meadows from Seoul to Shanghai, still sitting on the shelves of every Asian grocery store in every major city across the Western world, waiting quietly for someone to remember what they are and what they do. The plants were never the problem. The forgetting was the problem. And forgetting is the one thing that can always be reversed. Start with one, watercress. Buy it at any grocery store today. Put the stems in a glass of water tonight. You will have roots by the weekend. Add Gotu kola when you find a cutting at a nursery or from an online grower. Pick up water spinach from any Asian market for a couple of dollars a bunch. Float duckweed on a shallow tray of water near a bright window. Root water celery from a single fresh stem in a jar. Within a month, 5 glasses of water on your windowsill will replace an entire shelf of bottles in your bathroom. The plants do not care about your supplement budget, your zip code, or whether anyone believes you when you say you grow your own collagen system in the kitchen. They care about water. Give them that, and they will give you what no bottle on any shelf in any store can offer. A living system that builds itself, protects itself, and costs nothing once it begins. 5 plants, 5 glasses of water. And the only reason you are hearing about this now is that nobody profits when you grow the answer yourself. And do not forget, if you want to grow what the healthiest people on the planet are growing and start living like them, the Centenarian's Garden has got you covered. Go show them some love.